The fiery end to Quds Force leader Qassem Soleimani at the Baghdad airport set off a global alarm. The State Department urged U.S. citizens to leave Iraq immediately after Iran's supreme leader Ayatollah Khamenei telegraphed further action, claiming harsh revenge awaits the criminals involved. Westerners are urged to leave and/or be aware of anywhere Hezbollah has stretched its tentacles, which is as far-flung as North and South America to Asia.
There's always risk of cyber attacks. The Iranians have a deep and complex cyber capability, to be sure. Know that we've certainly considered that risk. Your point about risk here in the United States is real, too.
A 2019 Foreign Policy article addressing the presence of Hezbollah agents operating in the United States wrote, following Karani and Debek's arrests, the director of the U.S. National Counterterrorism Center said in October 2017, it's our assessment that Hezbollah is determined to give itself a potential homeland option as a critical component of its terrorism playbook. Ali Karani and Samer El Debek were arrested in 2017 in New York and Michigan and charged with providing material support to Hezbollah's Islamic Jihad organization. The criminal complaint against Karani described his IJO role as that of a sleeper. He and other undercover operatives were tasked to maintain ostensibly normal lives but could be activated and tasked to conducting IJO operations. According to the complaint, Karani acquired weapons in the United States to bolster IJO operations, scouted information about security weaknesses at New York airports, and gathered surveillance on numerous U.S. military and law enforcement buildings in Manhattan and Brooklyn. According to the Justice Department, Debek traveled to Panama twice for Hezbollah, where he located the U.S. and Israeli embassies, gathered information about the security operations and weaknesses of the construction of the Panama Canal, and pinpointed hardware stores where explosive materials could be bought. Between 2008 and 2014, Debek traveled from the United States to Lebanon to receive military training from Hezbollah, where he was trained in the creation and handling of explosives and explosive devices.
37-year-old Samer El Debek is said to have been on Hezbollah's payroll for the better part of 10 years. His arrest was announced today, 1 week after FBI agents raided this Dearborn home, which is connected to today's announcement. The FBI describes El Debek as an expert in bomb making, saying he had a high degree of technical sophistication when it comes to explosives, receiving training in the use of rocket-propelled grenade launchers.
Hezbollah has been operating within the United States since at least the early 1990s, when Hezbollah cell leader Youssef Hammoud used a forged travel visa to enter New York City via Venezuela. Hammoud relocated to Charlotte, North Carolina.
It was 2002 when a trial here at the federal courthouse revealed there was a cell of Hezbollah terrorists operating in Charlotte. It was shocking then. Even more surprising now that terrorism officials say Hezbollah is still here.
Are you currently investigating Hezbollah cells in North Carolina?
Yes. Michael Resnick is in charge of the FBI's Joint Terrorism Task Force for North Carolina.
They have a violent capability. They're a military organization, as demonstrated as what's happening in southern Lebanon right now.
And as evidenced by what happened in Charlotte in 2002, Hezbollah has roots in the Carolinas. Mohammed Hammoud and his brother convicted in Charlotte of smuggling cigarettes and then funneling the money to Hezbollah. Prosecutors said they were the head of a secret Hezbollah cell.
This was the real deal here. This wasn't just wannabes or hangers-on. We had a real terrorist cell here in Charlotte.
Recently, former CIA operations officer Sam Faddis told the Daily Mail that Hezbollah sleeper cells were hiding in the U.S. and potentially had targets in its sights. It is more than possible that Hezbollah has sleeper cells in the United States ready to strike, he said. Based on what we know, we must assume they do and that they can hit targets on U.S. soil at any time without warning. John Bound reporting.
This is the book of Job, chapter 18, verse 10. The snare is laid for him in the ground, and a trap for him in the way. Verse 11. Terrors shall make him afraid on every side, and shall drive him to his feet. Barak Yahweh, Barak Yahweh Shai, Barak Yahweh, Barak Yahweh Shai. Yahweh is the name who the world ignorantly calls God, and Yahweh Shai is his son, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. First and foremost, I want to give all praises and all glory to Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai, Bahashim Rakah Kodash. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone, Ruel, and taught us this truth. They are the true teachers for the nation of Israel and earth today. And salutation to the Akim out there, pushing this truth of sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth and risking their life to do so for Yahweh, Bahashim Yahushai's sake. Our brother Samak from the GMS Miami camp. And yes, the reason why I brought out the book of Job, chapter 18, verse 10 through 11, is I came across a video on the terrorist cells here in America, all right, that are just waiting to be activated by Iran, all right? And this terrorist cell is known as Hezbollah, which they are a proxy army for Iran based out of Lebanon. And that's the reason why I brought out the book of Job, chapter 18, verse 10 through 11, because America, which is ran by you Edomites, not only do you have to worry about the Russians, the Chinese, the Iranians, the North Koreans, you got to worry about Ishmael's descendants, all right? These Arabs, these wild motherfuckers, all right? And they are crazy as fuck. And in that video that I put in post-production proves that already the FBI and those in the government have been looking for and searching for these Hezbollah terrorist cells here in America. And that's why I brought out Job 18, 10, 11, because, hey, terror shall make him afraid on every side. Let me bring that out one more time. Job 18 and 10. The snare is laid for him in the ground, and a trap for him in the way. Right. This is a snare and a trap to you Edomites, you so-called white people. All right. Because you got so much on your plate, and you gotta eat it all. And this is why America is going down. 11. Terror shall make him afraid on every side, and shall drive him to his feet. Right. And hey, man, you got to worry. Not only you got to worry about the Russians, once again, the Chinese, the Iranians, North Koreans. You got to worry about these wild, crazy Arabs, man, the descendants of Ishmael. And, this proves that we're living in the last days, that, America's going down. So let's just read this, get an understanding of why this is all happening. It says, on Thursday night, the Pentagon announced that the United States killed Major General Qassem Soleimani, the head of Iran's paramilitary forces, in an airstrike in Iraq at the direction of the president. Right. And this is pretty much an act of war. You killed a military officer in a foreign country. All right. That in that country, which is Iraq, they did not authorize it. So that's an act of war. All right. And that's a military officer of Iran. That's like equivalent if someone was to assassinate the vice president, just throwing it out there. The strike that took out Soleimani also reportedly killed the leader of Kataib Hezbollah, an Iranian proxy militia in Iraq that has repeatedly attacked U.S. and allied forces and recently launched rockets at a U.S. military base. Right. So you killed a member of Hezbollah, which according to the news report, there's Hezbollah terror cells here in America. All right. You got a lot on your plate, Esau, Edom. And that's why we here, the Hebrew Israelites, keep telling you, you need to stop worrying about us. You need to worry about these wild motherfuckers, all right? Those attacks killed an American contractor, which led the United States to respond and kill 25 operatives in attacks in Iraq and Syria in separate operations. U.S. forces have also captured and arrested leaders of other important Iraqi militias with close ties to Iran. The killing of Soleimani, the longtime head of Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps Quds Force, is likely to prove a watershed in Washington's relations with Iraq and Iran will substantially affect the overall U.S. position in the Middle East. The blowback may be huge, and much depends on how well prepared the United States is for Iran's response and that of its many proxies in the Middle East. All right? And the proxies are who? Hezbollah, the Shiite militias. Who's the other one? From Palestine. Hamas. And it's going to get into it. Based on the Trump administration's record in the region, there is reason to be worried. It's hard to overstate Soleimani's influence because Iran's conventional forces are weak. Tehran often works through militias, terrorist groups, and other proxies to advance its interests abroad. The IRGC takes the lead for many of these operations in Iraq and in other countries where Iran plays both a military and political role, such as Yemen, Lebanon, Syria, Afghanistan, as well as the Palestinians. The IRGC is often the dominant actor in Iran's foreign policy, or at least an important voice. In April, the Trump administration took the unusual step officially designating the IRGC as a terrorist group, even though it is an arm of the Iranian state and thus not a non-state actor, unlike most of the entities on the U.S. list of terrorist organizations. The Salami has been the architect of many Iran's most contentious foreign policy issues, and he and the IRGC-QF are responsible for the deaths of many Americans, right? Because, Iran and America have been at war since the mid-50s, all right? Since America conducted a coup in Iran and put in the Shah of Iran. Look into that history, all right? The CI did that, and that's public knowledge, all right? That's why you idiots in America, man, you do not look into history, all right? And then you want to get mad at us, the Hebrew Israelites, all right, telling you that, hey, you're going down, man, because you've been nothing but a bully all over the planet. And we're just telling you, you're going down, like the scripture says, all right? You don't keep at home, Habakkuk 2, all right? You don't keep at home, all right? You enlarge yourself as hell, all right? You bring nothing but death. The Quds Force, with perhaps between 10,000 and 20,000 fighters in its organization, provides training, weapons, and organizational guidance and other support to a range of pro-Iran groups. The IRGC, with the Quad Force in the lead, is the key Iranian liaison with the Lebanese Hezbollah, the strongest paramilitary organization in Lebanon, and one that has attacked Israel and the U.S. at Iran's behest, right? All right? Hey, Ishmael is a wild man. Let me get that scripture. This is the book of Genesis. Because, hey, man, the Lord said that these Ishmaelites were going to be like this, man. Wild, man. Blow themselves up. All right? Jake don't do that, man. All right? The so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Americans who are the true biblical Hebrew Israelites, we don't do that, man. We're not into that type of madness. But this is the Arabs. This proves that, all right, the Arabs are the Ishmaelites, and those are mainly of the Hezbollah, all right, Shiite militia in Iraq, okay, Hamas. But let's get to where the Lord said that he will be a wild man. This is Genesis 16:11. And the angel of the Lord said unto her, right, who's the her? Okay, Hagar, all right? Hagar was the mistress, all right? Hagar was the handmaid to Sarah and Abraham, okay? And Sarah couldn't bear a child, so she commanded Hagar, to go to sleep with Abraham, and you get Ishmael. And it's going to say it right here. So the angel of the Lord said unto her, behold, thou art with child, and shalt bear a son, and shalt call his name Ishmael, because the Lord hath heard thy affliction, right? Because Sarah was beating her ass, all right? Probably because was jealous that she could have a child, and Sarah couldn't. But once again, Ishmael is not the chosen, all right? Because it was Isaac that was the chosen line. Verse 12. And you Edomites know this, all right? You elites, you know this, man. That's why it's stupid for Jake to say that that Esau are the Arabs, or that Esau is not the so-called white man. Like, that's bullshit, man. But here's the point. I don't want to go off on a tangent. 12. And he will be a wild man. Right, a wild man. Blowing himself up. Allah Akbar, motherfuckers. All right? Just completely wild. Running around with explosives on their body. Good movie to watch is The Siege with Denzel Washington. All right? Which is coming, man. Like the movie The Siege, everybody should start watching it because that's coming, man. All right? And that's why they're going to implement martial law. There's so many ways for them to implement martial law. Not only if the economy collapses, it will collapse, but also these terrorist attacks. All right? And he will be a wild man. His hand will be against every man, and every man's hand against him, and he shall dwell in the presence of all his brethren. Right. So there you have it, man. A wild man. Okay? That's why you got, Hezbollah in America as a cell, waiting to give an order, all right, from the Persians, which proves that the Persians and the Arabs are coming together, all right, against you Americans, which that's part of prophecy. I'll get it. I'll get the scripture. Let me just finish this up. It says, the Quds Force also works with Palestinian terrorist groups like Hamas and Islamic Jihad, among other nefarious organizations in other countries. When the United States clashed with pro-Iran forces in Iraq, the Quds Force made them far more deadly, providing them after 2005 with sophisticated explosives that could penetrate U.S. armored vehicles, killing almost 200 Americans. Right, IEDs, all right? I remember when I went to Iraq, when I was serving in Satan's army, man, that's what we had to train for. We had to watch out for these improvised explosive devices, all right? And, we all knew Iran was the one behind it, supporting these terrorist factions, all right? And that was one of the main indicators for me, like, man, these wars are never going to end. Let me get the fuck out the military. And I'm glad the Lord put the spirit in me to get out and wake up to who I truly am, a Hebrew Israelite from the tribe of Ephraim, the Wadi Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, for waking me up. Because I could be dead amongst these Americans not knowing what the fuck is going on. Having been at the helm of the Quds Force since 1998, Soleimani has cultivated a power network in Iran itself, and through the IRGC's many proxies, he assembles Iran's power, prestige, and reach. Right, that's why Trump, you're a dummy, right? Because you killed, the general, all right, but he already built the network, all right, for these proxies, all right. He already built it already. So you killing him, all right, you just made the problem worse. But it's all good because you're just fulfilling prophecy, all right. Donald Trump, you're fulfilling prophecy. You have to do this. So we like that you did that, all right. We are for your policies. Good job. So let's go to the scripture where the Arabs and the Persians will join forces, and you're seeing that, all right? This is 2nd Esdras, chapter 15. I'm going to start at 28. Behold, an horrible vision, and the appearance thereof from the east, 29, where the nations of the dragons of Arabia shall come out with many chariots, and the multitude of them shall be carried as the wind upon earth, that all they which hear them may fear and tremble. Right, Ishmael's descendants. All right, the wild man blowing himself up. Hezbollah here in America. All right, Hamas. Okay, Al Qaeda, jihadist groups. All these different factions of the Ishmael's descendants, which are the Arabs, man, putting in work on you Edomites, you so-called white people. All right, that's why. Hey, this war is gonna be bloody and gruesome, man. And we are the prophets of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai are just saying this is going to happen because the God of Israel said it was going to happen. All right, we are just bringing out His words. All right, don't get mad at us. All right, get mad at Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai because He's doing this. The God of Israel is doing this. All right. 30. Also the Carmenians, right? Who are the Carmenians? Those are the Persians. Those are the Iranians. All right. Raging in wrath shall go forth as the wild boars of the wood. And with the great power shall they come and join battle with them. Right. That's what you're seeing. All right. And it's clearly you dumb Americans don't know history once again. All right. What was going on in the 80s? All right. You had Saddam. All right. And you had Saddam, which was controlling Iraq at the time. And then you had Iran. I don't remember who the president of Iran was at the time, but you had the Iraq-Iran war, which the Persians and the Arabs were against each other, and they were fighting against each other, all right? Fast forward now, because what you did in America, because what you've done in Afghanistan and Iraq, you've made them align with each other. Why? Because they said, you know what? We need to put away our differences because there's a bigger threat. These Americans, all right? Look what they've done to the Middle East. Look what they've done to our homeland, all right? They bombed our children. They bombed our wives. They bombed our mothers, our fathers, our grandpas, our grandmothers with drones, all right? Cowards, okay? They bombed our schools. They bombed our hospitals. They bombed our mosques. Let's put away our differences and come together. Isn't that what we're seeing now? And by you killing that general, you just made them come together even faster, America. Bravo. Bravo. Wow, man. Hey, but it's part of prophecy. And shall waste a portion of the land of the Syrians. Right. Who are the modern day Assyrians? You Americans. You Edomites. And then shall the dragons have the upper hand, remembering their nature. And the dragons have the upper hand, right? Going wild, man. That's why these terrorist cells here in America, man, it's about to get wild here, man. Okay, I highly recommend don't go to places where there's heavy crowds, man. All right, because these Israelites, man, these Arabs ain't playing, man. And if they shall turn themselves, conspiring together in great power to persecute them. 32. Then these shall be trouble bled and keep silence through their power and shall flee. And from the land of Syria shall the enemy besiege them and consume some of them, and in their host shall be fear and dread and strife among their kings. Right, because the people in America are going to bug out and they're going to be yelling at their government like, what's going on? You know, we got to look over our shoulders now. Once again, watch the movie The Siege, okay? This is what's coming to America. And we are the prophets of Great Millstone to the spirit power of Yahweh Shem Rashai. We just telling you, all right? We are your real news, all right? You want to get the real news, just keep watching us. All right, let's go to Jeremiah 51 and 13. Let's talk about Babylon, America. O thou that dwellest upon many waters, abundant in treasures, thy end is come, and the measure of thy covetousness. Right, your end is coming, America. All right, all the riches you got by robbery, theft, murder. All right, it's coming now back. All right, to haunt you. Okay, everything you desired on the earth, you wanted the oil in the Middle East. Okay, you wanted to kill, destroy for the oil. You wanted to put even your own American soldiers' lives on the line as pawns to get the oil. Now it's coming back to bite you because terror's on all sides, man, on every side. Like, once again, you got to worry about Russia. You got to worry about China. You got to worry about Iran. You got to worry about North Korea. You got to worry about the Arabs, man, the wild man, the Hezbollah here in America. Okay? And this is of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. The Lord of hosts hath sworn by himself, saying, surely I will fill thee with men as with caterpillars, and they shall lift up a shout against thee. Right, and that's what's happening, man. Everyone's at your neck, America. Esau, Edom, so-called white man today. And there's nothing you can do about it. Because look what the Lord said, 15. He hath made the earth by his power, and he hath established the world by his wisdom, and hath stretched out the heaven by his understanding. 16. When he uttered his voice, there's a multitude of waters in the heavens, and he caused the vapors to ascend from the ends of the earth. He maketh lightnings with rain, and bringeth forth the wind of his treasure. Right. Basically, what the Lord is saying is that I'm doing this. All right. I'm the one that have the power. I'm the one that establishes wisdom in the world. Okay. I'm the one that gives understanding. It's by me and me only the reason why you're going to get destroyed, America. All right. And I'm going to use your enemies to do it. That's a God. That's a true power, man. Allahayim. Okay. 17. Every man is brutish by his knowledge. Every founder is confounded by the graven image. For his molten image is falsehood, and there is no breath in them. Right. You people in America are foolish, man. You're dumb. You don't know history. You don't know what's going on. All right. You about to go, you soldiers, you about to go fight in an endless war that you're not going to win. All right? Because you worshipped Babylon, because you worship the image of the beast, which is the Roman Empire all over again. And you believe that this place has wisdom and knowledge, and it doesn't, man. All right? How the hell does this place has all the wisdom and knowledge when it can't even control its debt? All right? You're supposed to be so fucking smart, America. All right? Babylon. But for some reason, you're always in fucking debt. You're 23 trillion in debt. You can't get out of debt. You got money problems. Everybody's got fucking money problems. All right? I got money problems. Okay? Everybody's got fucking money problems. All right? But you're so goddamn smart in here. It's fucking foolish. And that's just one example. There's many examples, all right? You got all these idols all throughout the country worshiping Egypt, all right? And that hasn't helped you. 18, they are vanity, the works of errors. In the time of their visitation, they shall perish. Right, because the Lord is going to destroy your idols, all right? The Lord is going to destroy your idols, man, okay? And you better get ready, man. It's about to get very, very, very crazy out here in Babylon, America. Let me get back to Job 18 to show you that this is of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. This is not of man. This is of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. He just uses man to fulfill his words. Okay? Job 18 and 12. His strength shall be hunger bitten, and destruction shall be ready at his side. Right? Let's talk about you Edomites, you so-called white people, more specifically dwelling here in America. 13. It shall devour the strength of his skin. Even the firstborn of the dead shall devour his strength. 14. His confidence shall be rooted out of his tabernacle. Right? Meaning you're going to lose confidence. You're going to lose faith and hope in these last days, America. Why? And it shall bring him to the king of terror. Because who is the king of terrors? Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. He's establishing it. He's making sure you lose your confidence in America. All right? You lose your faith, your belief in this country. And every day he's doing it. You got people now mad at Trump for what he did. And who are Trump supporters? This country is heavily divided. That's why it's going to be open season, all right, from these other nations to attack America. Okay? Once again, you got cells, Hezbollah cells, dwelling here in America who are just itching to do something. 15, it shall dwell in his tabernacle because it is none of his. Brimstone shall be scattered upon his habitation. Right, fire's coming. Because ultimately, all this is doing what? Stirring up World War III, which is going to lead to nuclear war. Once again, we're just waiting for a couple of prophecies, which, because 2020 is the year of prophecy. What are we waiting for? The economy to collapse, Jacob's trouble, all right, terrorist attacks here in America, false flags, martial law being implemented, and then most importantly, the microchip, RFID chip, mark of the beast, which will be implemented before the nukes fly. Once again, will be implemented, made mandatory in America before the thermonuclear war kicks off. And with that, I want to give all praise and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashim, Yahushai, Ba'ashim, Mukakwadash. Double honors to the apostle, great millstone, who well and taught us his truth. They are the true teachers for the nation Israel on earth today. And salutation to the Akim out there, pushing this truth and sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth and risking their life to do so for Yahweh, Ba'ashim, Yahushai's sake. Love you, brothers. Keep enduring, keep the faith. As you can see, we're almost out of here. Shalom, and of course, Abba Babal. Shalom.